Hello, welcome back to Evil Genius Props. My name is Mike, and I'll be your Evil Genius for today. What we're doing today is, well, it started to cool down a little bit outside. The pumpkin spice latte migrations have begun, and it's time to start preparing for Halloween. In this case, what we're going to be working on is props for my daughter's Halloween costume. And I asked her starting in August, the beginning of August, what she wanted to do for Halloween, and she decided that she wanted to be Rayla from the Dragon Prince. I'll be honest, I have no idea what this is, but she wanted me to make her swords. Again, sure, whatever. So we're going to go with that. I did find some 3D printer files and printed off a few of those. And then we'll go clean those up and paint them over on the bench. All right, so these are the pieces, and from this perspective, they don't look too bad. However, I was printing these in August, and it was super humid. We'd actually had a lot of rain recently, on top of it just being super humid in general. So the filament was too wet, and I was having a devil of a time getting them to print at all. So eventually this is sort of what I got. And this side, again, looks fine. But this side is a mess. Same. This one's not too bad, but there's some areas that need cleaned up, definitely. This one I was holding down with painter's tape to keep it from just falling off the bed. And sort of same thing over here with the other ones. This one's not as bad as that one. These little pieces came out okay though. So hooray for small favors. Because these printed off so poorly, step one's just going to be cleaning these up. Now I could buy new filament, try reprinting these and have less cleanup, but it's not worth the effort for me to go through that. I'll just go through and clean these up. It's really mostly just some sanding, maybe putting in something, because these are designed so that they will open and close. But if I put them together, then it doesn't really move that well at all. So maybe put something in there to lubricate those to make that a little bit easier, as well as opening up that with some sanding. So that's what we're going to start off with. These is just cleaning up the prints, and then once those are cleaned up, we'll move on to paint. It's still a little tight, but I'm going to say that's pretty good. That's for the top. I might go ahead and clean that up a little bit, but I'm probably going to do more sealing with that than anything else. This needs to be cleaned up though. Alright, so this side I'm going to hit with some filling putty just because it is such a bad quality on the print. Alright, let's start with the other side. Alright, so I'm going to put some putty on the blade parts here. I don't think I really need to do very much on the outside of the handles. Okay, so for these guys, just get in with the spot putty. And then let that dry. And I'll come back in and sand that down. Alright, we'll let that finish drying. You can see this one's almost dry already because it dries pretty quickly. And then come back in and sand that down. Alright, the putty is dried. We're going to go ahead and take that off. I actually ended up doing both sides just to make it look a little bit nicer. These are supposed to be metal. So we're going to clean these up and then hit them with a filling primer. I'm going to sand. I'll start with 220, 400, maybe work my way up to 800. We'll see. See how it looks before that. But we're going to sand these off and then hit them with some filling primer and let that dry before we paint. Alright, they're sanded down. They're still not perfect, but good enough for a Halloween costume. Maybe get a little bit there. But next step is going to be hitting them with a filler primer. Actually, next step is going to be cleaning them off because there's a lot of dust there. So we'll clean them off and then give them a hit of some filler primer. I think we're going to take off the rings because that's what spins in the handles. and I don't want that to get any thicker and then they don't move correctly. All right, these are painted, or not painted, they're primed. For the most part, came out pretty well. There are a couple of spots on the blades that need a little more attention. Either some more sanding, or I think one of them needed maybe a little bit more spot filler in a couple places. So I'll work on those guys, but in the meantime, the other pieces here are all set to paint. So the paint scheme for the handles is sort of a dark blue with a light blue pattern over it. So I'm going to do a light blue coat, mask that off, and then do dark over that. These are, I think, metal. So we'll just give them a metal paint spray and be good. Like I said, a little more spot putty on maybe the blades here, and then fill in that little gap. Sand those down, and then hit those with some silver as well. So that's our plan. I'll go ahead and spray paint these, coat this, figure out what paint I'm going to use for that. Alright, so kind of mixed up some light blue paint. We're going to cover most of this with that. Just sort of a quick coating over the whole thing, because then we're going to do a cover over that. It looks like these bits are silver and these are the darker blue, so I'm not going to worry about hitting those so much. I'll let that dry. Do a little bit more over in here. I'll let that dry, and then we're going to mask it off and do a darker blue over top. Alright, so I went through, masked off some of the handle here, and just drew in sort of some of the lighter lines. And then I'm going to take an X-Acto blade and basically just make a pattern for them. And ideally I'll cut these out, spray, pull it up, put it on the next one. Not sure if that's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. Alright, so this is cut out, except for that part in the middle. Alright, so I will go ahead and use the airbrush on this. And dark metallic blue. And hopefully I can peel this off and apply them again. I managed to successfully get off the tape from at least this one. I don't know that I'll be able to do that again though. So I'm going to do this one and see where we are. Maybe have to just completely redo the second one altogether, but that's fine. If that's what happens, that's what happens. So one thing I noticed is these two pieces are the same piece, so I can combine both of these up so that each side can be different, and then also then the same. So like these two sides will be the same, these two sides will be the same. I'm gonna say I did that on purpose. All right. Here they are with that little bit of metallic paint to them. This side's still not great looking, but I don't think I'm going to worry too much more about trying to get it there. And next step is just going to be hit them with a gloss. So, gloss coat. Make sure they stay nice and shiny. And then I'll finish off the handles. And that's just putting everything together. All right, let's go ahead and remove this. This is actually the second one, so I don't care if I rip the tape. Let's go get the blades and put this one together. So this one's good. I'm happy with this one. This one will clean up that joint a little bit more. Maybe touch up some paint. Try to mix that light blue and sort of paint that in. But in the meantime, I'll pull this one apart and try to fix it and then move on. All right, well, we'll call these good and move on. And she's got her little things for Halloween. I'm actually going to take them apart and sort of glue just the handle bits with like hot glue for school, because I don't want her having, these are actually pretty sharp for 3D printed. I don't really want her having anything that could be even mistaken for a blade. So we'll take these off and just give her the handles, and I think she's supposed to wear those on her back anyway. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, please be sure to like and subscribe. Until then, see you next time.